And when you were starting to talk about the evolution of technologies, it was what came to my mind is the whole evolution of ecosystems now, right?
Yep.
So different pieces of technologies actually being built in one platform with partners' ecosystem and things. How do you see that different to, let's say, merger or acquisition of two different tech over time coming together?
Yeah, it's a really good one. So I classify them as sort of mini ecosystems. So I think what happens is you've got this, and this has been happening for a long time, you've got the classic internal politics of an organization's IT team saying, well, we've invested in one of the big players. And so all of our applications across the employee lifecycle and talent acquisition beyond has to come from that vendor. The issue then comes when you get into the specialist category, so talent acquisition, the organization's team will say, well, this doesn't, fit our requirement in terms of functionality, in terms of experience, in terms of data, in terms of integration. And it will have an impact on things such as employee engagement, productivity, and so on. You've got IT pressuring them to go with the bigger players. And then you've got the different pockets of the business, the different talent categories, whether it's campus or grad, looking at, well, what's really disruptive? What's a game changer? How can we really attract our talent really quickly? So you've got this balancing act where I think organizations want simplicity to simplify their tech stack, but at the same time they want best in class, they want experience. So coming to ecosystems, because the bigger players I don't think can provide everything, they have a partner. But I don't think, again, they have enough resource or focus on all the different partners out there. So you might get some of the big players having the same partners. So you might have the three big players having the same video interview partner. Well, that's great, and they have built integrations, but that doesn't give the organization, the clients, enough real food for thought in terms of what's out there, what's available. But even within the smaller players, they have their own, or if you look at a particular talent category, so applicant tracking systems, recruitment systems, they will have their own mini ecosystems. So if you take any of those main players, they will have an assessment provider, particular assessment providers, particular video interviewing providers that they will work with on a regular basis. So what we try and help organizations is when they're looking to implement, deploy any new technology, we start to look at, well, what is the impact on that? Not just to buy that particular application, but what is the actual mini ecosystem that sits around it? I don't think today, with the clients I talk to, that they can buy a single platform to do everything. So they're having to buy this ecosystem. The ecosystem then comes down to how does that fit inside the business? How integrated is it into the employee or the user experience? So basic stuff like single sign-on, or is the data flowing correctly? Or can we embed the new application into the current application's UI? So I'm not having to go into multiple systems. Even with single sign-on, I can actually continue to do my work from the one screen. So ecosystems are absolutely going to be there. I think that the missing bit is we're helping organizations navigate the noise through education and enablement of what's actually out there. Because if you just take chatbots, I'm an organization, I go, I need a chatbot. I fly to Vegas to go to Unleash, lovely event. I see 15 chatbots. They get 10 minutes to talk to me. I go away thinking, oh, really liked some of that. If I turned around to them at that point, the client said, what was the difference? They couldn't tell you, because in that 10 to 15 minutes, you would have heard the exact same pitch. And I think also, as they fly back from Vegas, they're followed by 15 emails from 15 salespeople trying to close them out, pretty much saying the same thing. So we help sort of validate that in terms of the partners we work with, about 100 globally, and we vet them before they come into our partner ecosystem, which is called the Hive. And then we work with partners to work out, what is your overall strategy? What are your objectives? What are your challenges? What is your current technology landscape today? And forward over the next 3 to 5 years. So ecosystems isn't going to go away. I think it's just understanding those ecosystems, because what will change is who's integrating with who's playing with who. Lots of press releases out about CRMs going with some of the bigger players and who's accredited and who's not. So that's the bit that I think as a global head of talent acquisition, do they really have time or the luxury to try and work any of that out? And
Yeah.
that's where sort of we come in.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's fantastic. But with everything going on and so much tech and so many different ecosystems, the old players also like big players working with startups as well, albeit little innovation, but they are starting to acquire or partner with some of these as well. AMS, since you've been there, you've done a brilliant job on that because, we've met for the same purposes as well.